Welcome to the first season of Ancient Anecdotes powered by Listen Cup. This is your host, Ramanathan Iyer.
And this is Niti Ramanathan.
Earth to Lalita! Earth to Lalita! Hey, Papa!
Huh?
Why are you staring into outer space?
See, Sangeeta, Kavya and Malavika have invited me to their gang.
Ganga!
Yeah, I really wanted to be in that group. In our class, they are called the 3 pink rubbers. They have decided to make me the 4th pink rubber.
Oh, happy days.
Isn't it cool? I'm officially a pink rubber.
Very prestigious.
The only requirement for being a team member is to have an Apsara pink rubber.
Okay. One moment. Show me a pencil box.
Why, Pa?
Show no.
Here.
Your rubber looks like it was gnawed at by an army of rats and beavers.
Sorry, Pa. The rubber you gave me, no. I lost it. The one Amma gave me last week is much smaller and becomes small very fast as I keep using it.
Please be careful about your things, Papa.
Yes, I promise. Now come no, let's buy a pink rubber.
Wait, let me wear my slippers.
Papa, come.
Shivashankara.
Yay!
Happy, huh?
So much, Pa. You.
Wait. The lesson is still remaining.
What lesson?
See, you really needed a rubber at this stage, so we went and got a rubber. But this much effort to belong in a group is something you have to take careful note of. Now it's okay. It's just a rubber. But when you become 10, 12, 13, 15 and so on, there will be so many more such instances. And children nowadays do so much just to belong in a group. When we are not able to match up to the group's characteristics afterwards, we tend to become sad and devastated. There is no sense in all of this. Now you are not in such a situation, so it will be easier to tell you now itself. Tomorrow, you will remember this conversation much better. See, I myself have behaved like this in my childhood days and caused both myself and my parents a lot of stress because of my stupidity.
How, Pa? I'm sure you didn't have a pink rubber boys gang.
No, but we had a pen-pencil boys gang. The mechanical pencil was a rage back then. Only a small group of children got pen pencils to school. I wanted to belong in that elite group. A pen pencil costed 36 rupees those days. I pestered my father and he silently went and got me one.
Yeah, fathers are like that. You came silently, no?
That's not the point, Pa. I lost the pencil in 2 days. But my father didn't utter a single word. If he would have scolded me, I would have felt better at least. But he kept quiet, and that was tighter than the worst slap. Anyhow, I recovered my poise and scrambled out of the stupid urgency of wanting to belong in a gang.
Does this mean that I can get a new pouch as well?
No, you won't. We just got you a pencil box. What we are trying to say is that your identity is your strength, darling. I am not telling you shouldn't be friends or not to be in a group. But you should learn to draw a line sensibly. Emulate your friends' positive qualities. Like what Kabir Das said about swords, no? Leave the scabbard and respect the sharpness.
जाति न पूछो साधु की, पूछ लीजिए ज्ञान, मोल करो तलवार का, पड़ा रहन दो म्यान.
Yes, when interacting with anyone, look for their knowledge and positive qualities and emulate that. Belongingness is that only. You being able to resonate along the same lines of thinking as the other person with respect to his positive qualities.
I'm not clear, Pa.
Let's see. I'll try to explain this differently. See, we see groups of people laughing and playing together. We also want to be happy like them. We think that being in the group is what makes us happy. So, we want to belong in that group. We start believing that you and the members of the group are like-minded. So in order to belong in this group, we are ready to make any changes to our own identity. Before we know it, so many wishes and wants come up in us. All we have to actually do is trust in God and have confidence in our own identity. This is the key skill. immediately we will feel happy, not in doing something, but in being ourselves. If this is there, then contentment comes, and along with it, all desires get fulfilled anyway. When we are happy, everyone wants to be with us automatically. See, now the equation has changed. They want to belong to you now, and not you to them. Let us see through another example from my childhood.
Okay, Pa.
Have you been denied a promised something in the last minute? I'm sure all of us have, at some point or the other. When I was in 9th standard, my dad presented me with a state-of-the-art 4-bit video gaming console. I was in my teenage, and the video game was the very best birthday present in retrospect. I was stoked. Sometimes when we are playing Contra or Spartan, at a very crucial point, when you are going to cross an important level in the game, the chip would suddenly stop working and the television screen would turn blank or glitch out. That's when Granddad used to tell me that everyone staying in the pin code 641038 would hear my loud cries. He even said that some lucky people living closer to our house could hear me noisily thwack my thighs in exasperation. Granddad would be seated nearby with a newspaper, which he must have reread at least a dozen times. He would hear the loud sounds of my cry and would casually make a reference to the vanquishing of Vrukasura. I would usually try to ignore it, but since it was happening all the time, I wanted to know. This time I couldn't bear the curiosity, so I asked aloud.
Appa, who is Vrukasura?
Come, let's switch to the Granddad POV again.
Okay, so I am you and you are your granddad.
Correct. Vrukasura is the son of Shakuni, according to the great Narayana Bhattatri who composed the Narayaniyam. That is why in the 89th Dashakam of the Narayaniyam, Bhattatri has referred to him as Shakuneya. Bhattatri has written about how Vruka asks sage Narada as to who is the easiest among the Trinity, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, to please with penances. Sage Narada instructs Shakuneya to pray to Lord Shiva as the one who is easiest to please. He wanted to belong to the elite group of asuras who had received boons from the Trinity through penance. Vrukasura then does severe penances. He inflicts grievous wounds on himself for 6 days. On the 7th day, Vruka decides to sever his head as a last resort to force Shiva's hand into giving Vruka darshan.
तपस्तप्त्वा घोरं स खलु कुपित सप्तमदीने शिरच्छित्वा सद्य पुरहरमुपस्थाप्य पुरतः अतिक्षुद्रं रौद्रं शिरसि करदानेन निधनम् जगन्नाथात् ववुव्रे भवति विमुखानां क्व शुभदीः.
Shiva, the compassionate one, eager to prevent Vruka from giving up his life, appears before him and stops him. He says, "Such penances are pointless, my dear Vruka. Even if you give a drop of water in pure devotion, it will suffice. My dear Vruka, why give up your life? Tell me what will give you happiness. Tell me and I will fulfill your desires." Vruka was waiting for this moment all his life. He asked for his clever and cruel boon. "O Lord, please bless me with a boon that whomsoever's head I place my hand on will die immediately. They will be reduced to ashes." Shiva, the magnanimous, just said, "Tathastu," meaning, "So be it." The very next moment, like a hungry lion which attacks the very person who rescued it from the chains, Vruka rushed towards Lord Shiva, wanting to try out the boon on the Lord himself. Shiva is said to have run towards Vaikunta, and all the Devas are said to have become very silent, looking at the spectacle. Before Lord Shiva reached Vaikunta itself, Mahavishnu takes the form of a very clever Brahmana and steps in. He waits for Vrukasura. He hails the running Asura and asks him,
भद्रन्ते शाकुनेया भ्रमसि किमधुना त्वं पिशाचस्य वाचा सन्देहश्चेन्मधुक्तौ तव किमुन करोष्यङ्गुलीम् अङ्गमौलौ इत्थं त्वद्वाक्यमूढं शिरसि कृतकर सोपतच्छिन्नपातं भ्रंशो ह्येवं परोपासितुरपि च गतिः शूलिनो अपि त्वमेव.
Then,
Tata,
what is it?
I will do Mahavishnu's voice, please.
Okay. For me, you are the hero of all the stories anyways. Go on.
Victory be to the great Shakuneya.
Panting from head to toe, the Asura demands, "What is it? What do you need?"
O grand sir, O subduer of foes, O brave one.
Come on, get to the point. I am in a hurry.
Why are you running in such an urgency?
I had just received the ultimate boon from Lord Shiva.
Shambho Mahadeva.
Yes, but I'm yet to test it out on he who has verily granted me the boon.
What is the point, O great sir? You have been duped. You, the cleverest of all, should know better than to trust the words of Shiva.
What do you mean?
Daksha Prajapati had cursed Lord Shiva to become one of the armies of the ghosts and ghouls. What point would be there in anything he says?
But my penance, I struggled for 7 days.
Yes, it's quite a pity. You might have to start over. I'm quite sure you haven't gained anything. Your future is quite clear. You won't end up harming even a fly.
So, the boon is useless?
Yes. Place your hands on your own head if you want. Really, nothing bad will happen in the whole world.
Really?
Really, nothing bad will happen in the world.
Nothing, you say? Let me see. Vrika fell to the ground in a pile of ashes. Lord Shiva appeared on the scene and thanked Mahavishnu.
Tata,
Sollupa?
why does it sound like Shiva was helpless to face Vrika and needed Mahavishnu's help here?
It is really a very good question, Pa. There is a deep symbolism in this. I had read a wonderful book by Sri Ramatirtha called as The Parables of Rama, which has the answer to this question. Not all devotees get what they want immediately. First, devotion is taught, and then dispassion is taught. Contentment is key to dealing with desires of wanting to belong. Krishna says in the 17th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita on verse 19 about the disadvantages of practicing a tamasic form of tapas that is born out of self-torture or feverishness or for the purpose of doing harm to others. Vrika performs the exact form of tapas.
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत्पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसम् उदाहृतम्.
All human beings exist in 4 states of consciousness. We are either awake, asleep or resting, dreaming, and then there is a 4th state which is both restful and awake. Shiva represents the 4th state of consciousness, a state one experiences only in deep meditation. A person who is eager for boons and practices a tamasic form of tapas can never experience the 4th state of consciousness. The mind of such a person is still very much active. Such a state can only be achieved through contentment. This is the symbolism behind Shiva running away from Vrika who has received a boon. The Jiva in its mindful state is Mahavishnu, and the words he speaks are verily the Upanishads. Listening to the Upanishads or being close to anyone who has experienced the 4th state has a clever, powerful effect on the mind. This effect results in the dissolving of the mind, and then the 4th state is achieved. This is the symbolism behind the killing of Vrika when he places his hand on his own head, or the instruction by Mahavishnu, and then the appearance of Lord Shiva on the scene. This is the core symbolism behind the story. Did you get all that?
Yes, Tata. What an awesome story.
It is. So, in the coming episodes, let us meet some more Asuras and the interesting symbolisms my granddad used to weave around them. Like I said, these instances where Asuras were introduced to me were times when I exhibited some negativity during my childhood. My granddad used to convert these stories into triggers to remind me of the negativity and to help me learn to come out of it on my own without having someone else tell me by scolding me about it. So, double benefit. The story makes me forget the tendency and focus on the emulation of the good quality, and hey, no direct scoldings. There is no place in the entire Puranas where Asuras are set afire by mortals, except in the Ramayana, where Kabandha specifically requests Rama-Lakshmana to immolate him as he passes. There is a lovely story behind this and a clever symbolism.
Really? What is the story?
Hear it first on
Ancient Anecdotes.
on your favorite podcast streaming providers.
Tune in every week for a brand new episode.